Appreciate you.
Don't do that.
Race fans, and welcome to day 2 of the 2022 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest, featuring the APBA Gold Cup, the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world. Today is what we in the sport like to call Race Day Sunday. It is Gold Cup Sunday. This is the 112th running of the APBA Gold Cup, and we are going to crown a champion before the day is done. Want to wish an early good morning to everybody who has come through the gates as they opened at 8 o'clock this morning, and as you're making your way to your tent, your blanket, your seat, wherever you may be headed. Out on the water, you will see the brightly colored chartreuse and royal blue, the U11 of the Miss Colleen. The boat is driven by Jamie Nielsen out of Gig Harbor, Washington. Don't know where Gig Harbor, Washington might be, you say. It is just south of Seattle and Tacoma. It is actually connected to the town of Tacoma by a couple of Narrows bridges. Narrows as in the name, not the fact that they are narrow, although cross them at rush hour traffic and those lanes get pretty tight. Here comes Jamie Nielsen off the top end of the race course. He'll come down, put another hot lap in the book. Good to see Jamie out here first thing this morning. Jamie's going to need some points today. Picked up 2 third-place finishes yesterday. That gives him a total of 450 points. I talked with boat owner Scott Rainey this morning. He was optimistic that some of the changes they made would be positive for them this morning. Obviously, they wanted to get out quickly and find out the results of their work overnight. And Jamie will take the boat back to the pit area, as he was yesterday. It is my great pleasure to welcome to the microphone and the broadcast here in Guntersville, Alabama, once again for 2022, a man who needs absolutely no introduction when it comes to hydroplane racing and specifically broadcasting. Therefore, I won't give him any. His name is Jeff Ayler. Good morning, Jeff.
Brad, good morning. Great to be with you. Trying to get the
I think when I won the Gold Cup,
That's it.
that was the crowning achievement of my whole life.
The unlimited hydroplanes, the powerhouses of boat racing, run for the Gold Cup. This is the one every man in boat racing strives to win, because this is the top prize.
Muncie came out of nowhere to take the lead. And Gallant almost completely off the water. The object? A small Tiffany Gold Cup that represents the pinnacle of achievement for the hydroplane racer.
the race course. There was a smile on the face of the family members there that are all a part of the Miss Colleen racing team from Unlimited Racing Group. So let's hope that is positive and indicative for the day, because as I was saying, they need some points. They've got 450, Jeff, and I'm going to put you on a spot right now because we had dinner together last night. We had a good discussion. Yes, that's really true for those of you that are listening to us. We have to listen to each other talk all day on these microphones. So what do we do at night? We go sit down and talk over dinner. But we were talking about yesterday and how many times, seemingly, I had to go up on that stage and give trophies away. And there were so many heat winners in different classes of boats. I was confused half the day, which normally I am anyway. But there was so much racing and so much activity yesterday. And you and I sat there and mentally we calculated how many heats of competition we had yesterday, and the number was 11. Is that right?
Yesterday was 11. Today is the number of Pete rows, 14.
Yeah. So if you were here yesterday and thought the action was pretty good, well, we're going to add some more to it. And one of the places we're going to find a little room in that schedule is right here this morning, because we had a test session yesterday morning of 2 hours. Our test session this morning will go from 8 until 9, so expect to see some activity on the water, and we have just been advised it looks like J. Michael Kelly driving the U8, the Miss Tri-Cities. They should be next up on the water. Here's another team that is struggling a little bit, seemingly. We know they're one of the quickest boats here. We also know they're the defending Guntersville Hydrofest champion.
They were at both testing sessions prior to the season at Vancouver, Washington, Tri-Cities, Washington. Brad, you were at both tests, but so far, the progression of the gate down, then we saw it go up in testing yesterday and then kind of went back down to the downside. They're having some problems with the Miss Tri-Cities. They had that fork damage yesterday at the tip of that right sponson on the front. We'll see how the repair job looks when they come by the first time, but if they can get things ironed out, this boat, no doubt, has a shot at the Gold Cup.
Oh, absolutely, this boat has a shot. And as we talked yesterday, the last 2 races in the Tri-Cities that we have had, the winning boat, meaning the boat that won the final heat and was crowned the champion, made it through the whole weekend without winning a single preliminary heat. It's happened many, many times before. And J. Michael Kelly, as he comes off the top end of the race course, they did have a little bit of sponson damage, as you were talking about, and it really wasn't sponson damage so much as it was the right front tip of the sponson, which when he's running like that, it's nowhere's near the water. From my blind eye, Jeff, that looked a lot like the first run we saw from them when the weekend started, when we came down here and saw some test runs on Friday. That boat ride didn't look real solid.
It's been a struggle for the team, boat handling, then power issues. So this testing session is very important for the U8 Miss Tri-Cities. J. Michael was second yesterday in 1A, third in 2A, currently 5th in points for the Gold Cup at 525 points in the 5th slot. Brady works up into turn number 2 on this picturesque Sunday morning at Lake Guntersville.
Yeah, for those of you watching across the country and around the world on our live stream, I don't think you can get a more picture-perfect look than right now across this beautiful body of water where we are going to crown our Gold Cup champion. And man, woo, that's riding it awfully high, Jeff Ayler.
High in the sky, he was waving it to the fans here along the shoreline, our early arrivals here on this Sunday morning at Lake Guntersville. 2 1/2 mile course for the Unlimiteds. Our Grand Prix America and Pro-Lite Series boats will run the 1 1/4 mile course. Brad, that lap 150.358, 150.358. Back up into the upper turn. Just a beautiful sight on this Sunday morning in Northeast Alabama.
Yeah, here comes Mike off the top end of the race course one more time. You had that last lap at $1.50, but this is not the type of boat ride I think they're looking for. That's, boy, look at the front end. He's just hanging it there. Boy, and I'm sorry, Jeff, but I've got to say it. Just be careful, Mike. You've got that front end awfully high.
You see the front end rising on the race boat and the transom into the leaning toward the water. That lap a little quicker, 152, 140. I'd like that boat ride a little bit more level down the chutes, because you get up to 175, 180, 185 with it that high up in the front. Could be trouble.
You could get a face full of race boat real quick. I am not at all sorry to see him straighten her out and take it back across the causeway. They'll make some adjustments to it. You'll see a better boat ride. That's what it's all about. It's all about two things: getting enough points to get into the final, and then when the final comes about, have your best combination on board, have your boat figured out, know exactly what you need to do, put it in the hands of the driver, and let them go try and gain a Gold Cup victory.
And our first heat for the Unlimiteds, it will come up this morning, Brad, at 9:45 with Unlimited 3A, 11 o'clock, Unlimited 3B. 14 races on our race card today. Of course, the big one is the American Powerboat Association Winner Take All Final Gold Cup, presented by Marshall County Tourism and Sports. That will go off at 5 o'clock Central Time here in Guntersville.
Jeff Ayler, they've done this 112 times. That is an amazing number.
It is. It's really extraordinary, and you think about it. 1904 was the first race for the Gold Cup, and Brad, you pointed out to me, we was looking at it earlier. I like how you bring in the fact of the original name, Challenge Cup.
It's on there, and it's almost over 100 and so many years, 117, am I doing the math right? 118 years since it was first contested in 1904. It's almost completely wore off, but it does say the American Powerboat Association Challenge Cup. And Challenge Cup's getting harder and harder to read on it.
It's starting to fade as the years trickle on, but the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world.
In the world. And I just want you to know, Jeff, nobody else here cares, but my wife is very happy for the way you just said that. She says that's how it's supposed to be done. It's the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world.
Bless her heart.
Bless her heart, she's sound asleep. She'll be here shortly. She's not missing the APBA Gold Cup, and neither are you.
And it's 2 days in a row, having a little fun here with you. I actually arrived to the shoreline later than you 2 consecutive mornings.
This is a first. Usually, and you know, I was thinking about the time you got me to the pit area in Detroit in the dark. Remember, they used to run that race in mid-July, so it was getting light out by 5:30-ish, and you managed to get me down there when it was pitch dark and the security guards didn't want to let us in. There wasn't any coffee being brewed. I'm going, Jeff, why are we here?
I was in a hurry.
Because it's Gold Cup Sunday. That's why we're here. So, Jeff, I'll tell you what, right now, why don't we step away from the pipes? We've opened up the program. Fans, welcome. It is the 2022 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest, the race for the APBA Gold Cup, the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world. We're going to turn it over to the music guys. Let's get some music crank and get everybody awake. It's Gold Cup Sunday, folks.
for takeoff. Landing is a lot easier if I just catch it because I don't.
Come straight down to the controller.
I control where it comes down at.
Oh.
So it does have an automatic return to home.
Bring it right to this.
Yes. Actually, what it does is it takes it to the GPS location that it took off.
Oh. Oh, so you can't take off from here, go out in the boat, and if something happens, then it can.
It's going to come right back here.
Gotcha. How's the tent working out?
This is awesome. This is
Do
so
we need to
awesome.
pull this back so that we can that comes fly. He's him.
Do you know Ed over there? So Ed, right here.
Oh, he's the policeman.
Yeah, the retired
Right.
sheriff of policeman.
Okay, yeah, I met him last year.
He's flying his room, and I told him that was fine. He knows where
Ten four. Roger that. How long you got to charge if you fly for a heat? Because you're up for about, what, 15 minutes for a heat?
being a battery. So we have lots of batteries. So we now actually do
But if you go into a heat, like 15 minutes, you're up.
I have to auto battery out.
Bash my finger. So fucking bad. So, like the chair was stuck in my finger, I couldn't get it out.
Bleeding?
No, it just hurt so bad.
Oh, you're coming.
How's that feel?
Yeah, it's falling out.
God, that's great. Mike Morris coming. What it is you're on this.
I'll go look at the
Big
purpose.
river, and they've got like a mini tower with a ride. The ride is where you would and there's a room. I will be below that. No, I would be. Oh, that'd be
I'm trying to fix you up, mine ain't even right.
But see,
I'm going to go over and ask the guy who wants to.
So what Martin was saying to do too, that one of these days, and I'll probably do it, is you can get it for real. You go to the ear doctor or whoever does it.
Oh, yeah.
And you turn your head sideways and they pour in
no, but we'll.
Oh, it's making this.
mold.
It's unique.
He said you'd be surprised.
Every race I
think
see, I've been to
you
ride
better
on those
everything
yellow
that's done.
It's big enough that it's really
Whoever does those.
Hey, do we have binoculars at all?
I don't know.
I don't want to use it.
Huh? Yeah, they're right there if you want to borrow them.
So you
You know what I'm saying? anybody in the water? Okay. What, you want shots? Alright.
Show the crowd.
Alright. Well, I don't want to get caught with half battery. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
I want shots.
Yeah.
I came here for shots. I can do that anytime. I'll do that at lunch.
Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sounds like it's still working to me. We don't know how far. I'm still here. You're hearing? Got it? Got it? Still working? So this is the club level, right? You're the ones. Oh, you're here. Okay, all right.
7. Because I'll be good.
So Jeff Ayler, oh, I know you can hear me now, Jeff. Okay, so they're going to yell at me if all of a sudden the mic doesn't work, but somehow I think I can. Oh, you're back. Have a seat. No, we want you in the way. That's good. So I have been sent down here to find you guys. Yeah, on my first trip down, I was told to come down and find you. I was told not wanting to reach. I'm going to go around the other side. I was told to come down because Wyatt, are you going to plug me in a little stronger? Oh, I hope this works. Anyway, I was told to come down here and find you guys because I was told there was more knowledge at this table about boat racing and just boat racing than me up the beach. Sorry for the breaking up. Let's start right here with you, young man. Member of the 100-mile-an-hour club back in 1962, 1963. Oh, that's close enough. That was a long time ago. And what is your name, sir?
My name is Joe Stryhall.
Tell me a little bit about the 100-mile-an-hour run and the boats you used to race and what you used to do.
Run on the State Road 84 canal, Fort Lauderdale, between Fort Lauderdale and what used to be Andytown on US 27. It was, that canal became very narrow when you were doing 100 and some miles an hour. But,
I can imagine.
And you had to run both ways, so far enough down, the boat slowed down. It kept wanting to hook to the left because of the rudder, the large rudders we had. I ended up having to get up in the bow and paddle myself to turn around and then hope the engine would start. I didn't have an electric fuel pump. I had to pump pressure in it. I was driving a 266, used ethanol only, naturally. And you couldn't do anything much to the engines because there were 265 cubic inches and it was the 266 class. So you had to be careful you didn't clean out too much or you'd exceed the specs on it. But started running them back in about 62. Driving so my cousin done well, and he was about 10 years older than I was, so he had bought this the old Miss Washington D.C. from Don Dunnington, which was an international hull, and he needed, when he had to get out of town, there was nobody to drive it, so he let me drive it. And then he ends up buying a brand new Lauderback called the Jade Dragon, which now is a vintage from what I understand. I happened to walk in Larry Lauderback's shop over on Kent Island about maybe 7-8 years ago, and here he was rebuilding the Jade Dragon. Really? As a vintage boat, yeah. I ran back to the, I get all teared up talking about the old time.
No, this is good. This is why I came down to talk to you guys.
Okay. Not much. I had no claim to fame because I didn't ever have a real good boat unless I drove his Jade Dragon, and we would probably get up to 130, 140, 150 in the straightaways on that. But when we did the 100-mile-an-hour club in the canal, we were only doing about 115, 120, and that was like threading a needle going down that canal. It got very narrow when you sped up. Yeah. The only other claim to fame, and which was almost like a complaint, all the boat races always could tell you why they didn't win. I did get third at the Nationals in St. Pete in 65. I was beaten by Skeeter, Johnson, and Mike Comet. Mike had the Apache, and Skeeter had the Wawa 2. He was out of Cambridge, and Mike was out of New Jersey, from what I remember. And I'm getting a little senile now, so it's difficult to remember.
No, you're not.
I'm not doing bad for 82, but and I can walk. I don't need my walker, but anyway, there's other people here to talk to.
Well, first I just wait. This man here is pretty shy. Have you noticed that? He liked this microphone thing. I can't tell you thank you enough. This is awesome. I'm so glad you are here. Can we give it up for our friend here? This is terrific.
Thank you very much. I appreciated everything here. And I've been to Guntersville 2 or 3 times. A good friend of mine was killed here in the 266 back in about 67 or 68, somewhere around that. A man named Lou Kohler, who I used to keep my boat under his shed down in Miami. And we would stock all our methanol. We would have 5 and 6 drums of methanol there for the 266s. But there's other guys here that are far better speakers than myself.
I think you're pretty darn good. Ayler? I may lose my... Thank you. This is awesome. That's really cool. Who else have we got here? All right, I'm coming over. Oh, I get to sit down? This one. Oh. Do this. We still... that's... Here. We'll make it work. You're not getting out of this.
Mark Webber entering turn number 1 in the original 1957 built U-36 Miss US 4. Boat running faster than ever than it did in its racing days. Looking at the qualifying times at the first Unlimited event in 1963, the Miss US 4 yesterday would have qualified 6 out of an 8-boat field, averaging a little over 100 miles per hour. The boat only recorded lap we could find in history was at 96.026, set in 1957 at the Sahara Cup on a 3-mile course. So the boat today in 2022 is running faster than it did in 1957. So a Herculean effort by Jay Armstrong, his crew chief George Zarnacki. Miss US 4 up in turn number 2. Mark Webber. Here's the sound of the stock Allison. Mark passes leisurely down the front straightaway in the Miss US 4. Craft is here this weekend as Lake Guntersville celebrates the 60-year anniversary of the World Propeller Hydroplane record, the 1-mile record run, kilo run, set back on April 17th, 1962 in Guntersville. That boat is here on display behind the judges' stand. The speed set by Roy Doobie, 200.419 miles per hour. Mark returning back to the pit dock a little earlier than I thought. Did have a lap time there on the 2.5-mile course at 88.36 miles per hour. We will see the Miss US 4 back out here later this afternoon in our Sunday activity here at Lake Guntersville, celebrating the 60th anniversary of the propeller-driven hydroplane record in the mile trap and the kilo set by Roy Doobie. And Brad, we've looked at that boat behind us, and what a brave man Roy Doobie was on April 17, 1962, to set that record in suspect conditions.
Very suspect conditions. I'm sure you got into it. I was looking for George Simon Jr. He's been here in and out, and I thought it'd be a perfect time to speak with him. George, if you hear us, we'd like you to come by and have a conversation with us. But you're right. It was a very, very courageous thing that Roy Doobie did under not the best of conditions. When he ran that third run, he literally was blind. And the circumstances were such that that record, let's just say it could have been as much as 10 miles an hour faster had somebody not tripped over the cord that was powering the timing device after he went through the kilo. But before he got through the mile trap, somebody unplugged the clock and there was no time recorded. So he had to go out and run it again. They gave him credit for that run with the first run, but as you said, the weather got so darn bad he couldn't see. 3/4 of the way through the trap, he pulled his foot and drifted across at 193 and averaged with the 207. He got the 200 mark.
Brad, you did tremendous research. The width of each trap, only 75 feet. Hydroplane going well over 200 miles per hour, trying to find your way around that track and getting through those traps. But the 1-mile run, he actually ran 9 miles. Some of that was going way up lake to let the waters calm before he came back through, because you had to pass once and pass a second time to be eligible for the record.
That's exactly right. And I'm sorry, I'm catching my breath here.
Take your time.
Anyway, we told the story there of unplugging the cord. Yesterday afternoon in the pit area, our speakers got unplugged in the pit area for a short period of time. And apparently what happened was somebody tripped over the cord and unplugged the speakers over there for a couple of minutes until such time as they plugged them back in, and somebody said, "That's okay, you Roy Doobied it." So maybe we have a new term here. We Roy Doobied it.
Without a doubt. Brad, up next on our race schedule will be Guntersville Chevrolet Grand Prix Heat 2A. We'll take a little break. We need to pay some bills, courtesy of the public address system.
neighbor boy.
Okay, it is Ryan. Okay. Thank you. Attention the pits. Attention the pits. Grand Prix America drivers, stand by for countdown to the 6-minute period. Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That's the 6-minute period for GPA Heat 2A. Thirty seconds. $20, 15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 5-minute period for Guntersville Chevrolet, GPA Heat 2A. Drivers, crank them up. Heat 2A GPA sponsor Guntersville Chevrolet. Their display on the grounds, several trucks located in Zone 2 for display, thanks to their continued support of Hydrofest. And Brad, I'd be amiss. Guntersville Chevrolet, sales, new and used, service department, collision center, and I bet you here in Guntersville they have a friendly shuttle driver at Guntersville Chevrolet.
I am sure they do. I'm sure they do. And
because I'm the friendly shuttle driver at Chandler Chevrolet on Madison, Indiana's hilltop.
isn't that historic Madison, Indiana, top of the hill?
Yes.
How long of a commute is that from Rikers Ridge?
392 miles.
No, from Rikers Ridge to Chandler Chevrolet.
6.
Thought the 300 was a little steep. So we're going to use this clock, right?
All right, Brad, here's our lineup for Guntersville Chevrolet. GPA 2A on the inside, the Freedom. Ken Brody owns and drives out of Grand Island, New York. Think you like that boat?
I do, and he's away from the pit area. He is coming over. Our second boat, going to run in lane number 2, a winner from yesterday, GP 525 Reliable. Diamond Tool presents Fat Chance Racing and Tom Thompson. And coming right in front of us, Jeff, introduce him, boat number 14.
They struggled yesterday in the first heat with a third place finish, and with that, EMS presents Legacy 1. E14 Brandon Kennedy drives out of Newark, Delaware.
So boat number 50, boat number 525, boat number 14, or Brody Thompson Kennedy. Brody comes by on the outside. I say it all the time. We're not supposed to have favorites. That one's my favorite. Always has been since the first time I saw it.
Second largest hydroplane class on the planet, 24-foot length, 12-foot width. All boats powered by a 468 cubic inch engine. Generates 1,400 horsepower, racing trim at 2,700 pounds. Shoot speeds here at the end of each shoot at Lake Guntersville approaching 145 to 150 miles per hour. the start sequence for Grand Prix America. Lanes are assigned. They run on a clock start format as we're now 1 minute 50 seconds away. Brad, I just mentioned assigned lanes in GPA, clock start format. The name of the game in hydroplane racing, these white buoys in front of us, you want to have your boat just a touch to the left of those when the clock strikes 0 with the most boat speed you can have, because if you jump the gun, that is a 1 minute penalty on your elapsed time in GPA, and you don't want to miscue because that takes you away from victory.
Yeah, you're not going to win if you do that. And we saw some of that yesterday. We saw some gun jumping. We also saw the other side of that equation. We saw some boats that were a bit tardy to the line. It really is a fine, fine line. You want to be right on the line, not over it, and you don't want to be too far behind. I look for Brandon Kennedy in the 14. He's on the outside, Jeff, but I look for him to have a big heat here. Coming up inside 55 seconds now and counting down. Here comes our boats. They're going to start grouping up, and we're going to go racing. Welcome to Sunday, Jeff.
Brad, good morning to you. Good morning to all of our fans along the shoreline, of course, watching live at H1 Unlimited via YouTube. Good morning from Guntersville. Coming up on the 30-second mark. 30 seconds away. Once again, Ken Brody in 1, Tom Thompson 2, Brandon Kennedy in lane number 3. 3 of the top drivers in the Grand Prix America Hydroplane Series presented by Knighton Industries. Coming around the turn, looks like this is going to be a good start. Beautiful sight here on Lake Guntersville to begin our Sunday race card as we're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, clean start, we're racing. Guntersville Chevrolet, GPA Heat 2A, and Ken Brody nailed it on the inside in Freedom. Leads him in turn number 1. Tom Thompson second. Reliable Diamond Tool presents Fat Chance Racing. Brad off the turn, there's Brody, he leads it.
He was the first one across the line. They were all a little bit tardy, but he was the best of the 3, and you're seeing how important that is, coupled with the outside lane. But Tom Thompson on the outside is closing. Thompson's running like a rocket, and don't count out Kennedy.
Thompson's got fire on the outside, and he is closed. We will come down to complete lap number 1. 1 in the books and 3 to go, and Thompson is there on the outside. Freedom in front. Reliable Diamond Tool presents Fat Chance Racing in second. EMS presents Legacy 1 in third. Turn number 1, Brody. Thompson's hidden. Brody in front. Brad Thompson still there.
Yeah, Thompson is still right there. Looks like 1 boat, it's 2. It's about 3 or 4 boat lengths back to Tom Thompson. Driving that Reliable Diamond Tool presents Fat Chance Racing. But right now, out front is Freedom Racing. We are on lap 2 of 4. He will come down and see a green flag. That means he's got 2 more to go. Jeff, this is good racing.
Sweet action to begin the day here on Lake Guntersville. We're halfway through it. Sponsored by Guntersville Chevrolet and Heat 2A. Brody maintains a 5-boat length advantage over Thompson in second. Kennedy remains in third, but the battle is up in the front. Oh, and Thompson's got a problem. Reliable Diamond Tool presents Fat Chance Racing. Nestling dead in the water now. Brad Brody's clearly out in front.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Tom Thompson down there. I was just about to make the comment. That's the best I've seen Tom Thompson's boat run maybe ever. He was running like a rocket. They're going to put the green flag is up. They're going to put the caution flag up just to let the drivers know they've got a boat down in the water in the lower corner.
This will be the white flag lap, so 1 more lap to go for Ken Brody and Freedom. Second place, Brandon Kennedy. EMS presents Legacy 1. So your first and second place boats working their final lap in Guntersville Chevrolet GPA 2A. And Brad, Brody a half a lap away, just needs to hang on.
Just needs to hang on. I've been rooting for him all weekend, and this is where he's going to pick up his first place finish of the weekend. They'll be very, very happy. Checkered flag awaits. Jeff Ayler, bring him home. Freedom Racing.
Checkered flag out, as Brad said. Here's your winner of Guntersville Chevrolet Heat 2A and GPA, Ken Brody and Freedom. Brandon Kennedy off turn number 2. Brandon will cross to get second place points in EMS presents Legacy 1. Brad, that's your defending Madison champion from last year as Brandon shuts the boat down after he crosses the start-finish line. His local sponsor for next weekend is here, Kyle Bipes out of Madison with River City Printing. Kyle, good morning.
Well, clearly he's not happy with something, and we've seen that boat run an awful lot better than that. I had leaned over into somebody's ear just as they were in the milling period, and I said, watch that boat on the outside. Brandon's going to wind it up. But clearly when he put his foot in it, the beans just weren't there.
They ran well at Madison last year, as we mentioned, being the winner. Then Brad, on the trailer at Cambridge, Maryland, they had fumes underneath the deck of the craft that had leaked.
Oh,
and
boy.
A terrible explosion. And it was a Herculean effort last year to get this boat back in competition. And they're still fighting some system gremlins, I believe, with this boat. But if anyone can figure it out, it's Brandon's father, George Kennedy Jr., and that team owned by Richard Hearn out of North Webster, Indiana. You see Brandon out of the boat. He'll wait for a towboat to come by along with Tom Thompson. So, Brad, we're off and running. Ken Brody out in front, boat name Freedom.
Yeah, and it was either coincidental or Brandon Kennedy knew he had a problem the entire heat and just made sure he limped it across the finish line, got the points, and then immediately shut it down. Tough break for Tom Thompson. The boat was running so very well. But GP 50, Ken Brody, inside lane, broke the clock.
Up next on our race card, we'll go with the H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes. Unlimited Heat 3A will be sponsored by Explore Lake Guntersville. Visit ExploreLakeGuntersville.com. Alabama's natural attraction. And Brad, plenty of attractions, restaurants, and places to stay here at beautiful Lake Guntersville.
I add to what you just said, Jeff. You talked about places to see, attractions, restaurants, and places to stay. Well, having been coming here only since 2018, but I think the number of restaurants and hotels have doubled in this town, and we saw what's going on down in the new harbor. This city, this community here is really growing, and the leadership of this town is on top of it. They are working together. They've got a vision for the future, and they are executing to that vision. It's a great little spot, and it's just going to be better next year.
It is a beautiful community. Actually, one of my high school classmates I graduated with relocated down here to Guntersville, and her and her husband, they just love it. And I was so impressed with the area last year and hope to come back for many years here at Lake Guntersville. With that, Brad and I will take a little bit of a break here on the public address system and our online streaming courtesy of H1 Unlimited through YouTube. Stand by, because coming up at 9:45 will be Unlimited 3A, sponsored by Explore Lake Guntersville. Good morning once again from the start-finish line here at Lake Guntersville, Alabama. The 2022 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest. The H1 Unlimited hydroplanes running for the APBA Gold Cup. We welcome our race fans and guests along the shoreline. Also, to our worldwide watchers and listeners watching via H1 Unlimited through YouTube. I'm Jeff Ayler with Brad Luce. Brad, good morning. We're about set for H1 Unlimited Heat 3A, sponsored by Explore Lake Guntersville. We are inside 7 minutes until Unlimited Heat 3A. Let's get it going.
Let's get it going. I'm ready. I know you are. Let's take a look at the boats that are going to come out and compete in our Heat 3A. And, Jeff, it is day 2 of 2, which means we crown the champion at the end of the day. My understanding is we're going to run 5 boats on the front row. You've got to be one of those top 5 point getters to get on the front row of that final heat. And we've got some boats now that are looking at those points going, I got to get some.
Got to get some, and one that needs some desperately. Actually, 2 boats. Currently 7th in points, Jamie Nielsen with 450, and Miss Colleen. And Corey Peabody, the top qualifier at last year's Southern Cup, currently in the 6th position with 469 points in Lynx Healthcare. Miss Madison Racing right now stands on top of the point standings after 2 sections of the Gold Cup. Jimmy Shane with 800 points in first. His teammate Jeff Bernard in second with 625. Right now, Brad, is we're 5 minutes and 35 seconds until the start. Shane wants to remain clean, not getting any problems, because yesterday he drew both 3-boat heats. This is his first 4-boat heat of the weekend.
You're exactly right. Yes, he wants points. He wants to win because of the national high points race, which is the total points throughout the season. But first and foremost, as you just said, this is the Gold Cup. He wants to win the Gold Cup. He wants to run clean, score points, and he'll be any points, and he'll be in great shape to be on the front row of the final. We got boats on the water as we are now inside 5 minutes. 5 minutes to Heat 3A of the H1 Unlimited APBA Gold Cup. Heat 3A is presented by Explore Lake Guntersville, and you should visit explorelakeguntersville.com.
Brad Luce, let's ID the participants for our fans along the shoreline, our guests at the Lake Guntersville Hydrofest.
First boat coming out of front straightaway is that U1, the Miss Home Street, powder blue and white. Jimmy Shane sits behind the wheel, 800 points. Boat is owned by the citizens of Madison, Indiana. Right behind him, Jamie Nielsen, driving the Chartreuse and Royal Blue as he jumps on the screen for those of you watching online. That's the Miss Colleen, the U11, driven by Jamie Nielsen. Seeing who's coming off the top end of the race course now. Here comes Corey. This will be Corey Peabody coming across next. You'll see him momentarily there online. He's coming across start-finish line right now. Those of you online, as the camera moves, there's Corey. The U9 Lynx Healthcare. We talked a lot about them yesterday, Jeff. A brand new sponsor in H1 Unlimited Hydroplane. Boy, wouldn't that be something? Get your name on the Gold Cup right out of the box.
Well, it would, and owners Darrell and Vanessa Strong picked up their first Unlimited win last year with the other boat in the team, the U8 Miss Tri-Cities.
Yes, they certainly did. They'd love to do it again as Corey's going to cut the course, but looking way across the race course and up the backstretch behind Corey there. You can barely see him. There he is for those of you online. The U91, the Goodman Real Estate, is at the top end of the race course. That is our 4th and final boat. It is driven by Jeff Bernard. It is black and gold. It's beautiful. They've come in here with 625 points. They're number 2 in the standings right now, Jeff. Same thing. Run clean, get some points.
Run clean. We're 3 minutes and 5 seconds from the start. Brad, for our fans along the shoreline, clock start in H1 Unlimited. Your lane is not assigned to you when you leave the pit area. You fight for it. And that's what's taking place right now in the milling period. You have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin of turn number 2. Prior to the start, then hold your lane, come down to the line. Name of the game, be at these white buoys at full song at 0. If you jump the gun, you issued a 1-lap penalty. And Brad, that's what these drivers don't want in the Gold Cup, because it's points, points, points to get to the final at 5 o'clock later today.
Yeah, it certainly is, and look what's going on up the backstretch as you talk about the fact that we fight for lanes. You got 3 boats right there. Corey's sitting on the inside right now. That's Corey Peabody in the Lynx Healthcare sitting just inside Jimmy Shane in the home street. Then on the outside there is the Miss Colleen with Jamie Nielsen. Jeff Bernard follows. Watch Jeff. I'm just going to say, watch Jeff, see if he doesn't cut. And here he comes right on cue. Jeff Bernard in the 91's going to come across and jump in front of those 3. And now the timing's going to get interesting, because this may very well be the way they're going to go all the way down to the lower end. Our lanes may be getting determined right about now, Jeff.
And each boat has to stay above 80 miles per hour in the warm-up period. That is monitored by GPS for H1 Unlimited. And Brad, the 4-boat field making their way to turn number 1. Bernard leads them down, followed by Peabody, with Nielsen and Shane trailing back. Bernard is there first, and right now, Brad, Bernard has the 91 Goodman Real Estate parked on the buoy row, but still lots to decide. We now are 1 minute and 10 seconds until the start. Brad, by your timing marks, how's the field look?
I think the field is in good shape right now, and lane 1 is going to go to Jeff Bernard. Lane 2, at least as it is right now, and I don't expect anything to change. Goodman Real Estate is in 1 with Jeff Bernard. It is the Lynx Healthcare, the U9, Corey Peabody, trailing him up there. That's the silver boat. He is going to be in lane 2. Jimmy Shane in the home street is going to be in lane 3 with Jamie Nielsen on the far outside. Jeff, we are coming up to 40 seconds until our start. Take them through the top end of the race course. We'll bring them down. And now is when that start is absolutely critical. They want to be on the line when that clock strikes 0. We were watching yesterday, maybe a 15, 16, maybe even a 17-second run off that exit pin. We're at 22, and they're approaching. They are. Watch on the outside. No, that's Nielsen there. Watch Jimmy Shane from lane 3 with a hole shot, Jeff.
Bernard is early by our timing marks. 10 seconds away. Explore Lake Guntersville, Heat 3A coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, we're racing in Explore Lake Guntersville, Heat 3A. Bernard hit the throttle right there at the last second. Leads the field down into turn number 1 and lane number 1. Bernard there first. Shane is actually second in lane number 3. Bernard in front. We got a deck-to-deck battle for second between Peabody and Shane.
Coming off the bottom end of the race course, Jeff Bernard. He was a little bit early on the start, but was able to get on it in enough time so he could get to the lower corner first, and he's holding that lead. It looks like 3 boats up the backstretch. There are 4 in second place. You've got Corey Peabody and Jimmy Shane in the Lynx Healthcare in the home street. Top end of the race course. Bernard running like a rocket, Jeff. He's really flying.
The start was good for H1 Unlimited. And Brad, will we have it? Yes, we have a triple-decker off turn number 2 and Explore Lake Guntersville Heat 3A, side by side by side. And now Jimmy Shane pulls out in lane number 3, takes the lead in Miss Home Street. As we go back into turn number 1, Shane in front on the outside. Shane maintains that lead. Now Lynx Healthcare in second with Corey Peabody. Bernard in third. Brad off the corner. Shane Powers in front.
Shane's out by about 3 boat lengths. It is Jeff Bernard has dropped back behind the 2 leaders. Now Corey gonna try and run down Jimmy Shane on the inside in that silver Lynx Healthcare. This happened yesterday, and Corey was unable to get him. Remember, we said Corey Peabody needs points. He'd love to have 400. 300 will do him just fine, but he also wants to let Jimmy Shane know, I can run you down on the inside. Top end of the race course. Jimmy driving him really clean, Jeff.
Boy, beautiful turn by Corey Peabody on the inside. Exciting Explore Lake Guntersville Unlimited 3A. Shane accepts the white flag in front, making a 5-boat length advantage over Corey Peabody and Lynx Healthcare in second. The race is for first in Unlimited 3A. your top two in turn number one. Now Shane extends it out, make it 7 boat lengths, but Brad Peabody's still driving strong on the pins.
He really would like to sniff those 400 points and run down Jimmy Shane. I don't know if he's going to be able to get him. He's sitting back by about a rooster tail. Jimmy Shane driving the U1, the Miss Home Street, got a rooster tail on Corey. He's been driving him really clean. And Jeff, you know what we mean by that. When he comes off the top end of the race course, he needs to leave a lane for Corey Peabody up there. He's been giving him plenty of room.
A great day to begin the APBA Gold Cup at Lake Guntersville. Final turn, final lap for the top two. Jimmy Shane extending it out. 3A sponsored by Explore Lake Guntersville. ExploreLakeGuntersville.com. Checkered flag waving. Your winner of 3A, Jimmy Shane and Miss Home Street. Second place will go to Corey Peabody in the Lynx Healthcare. Jeff Bernard had the best start of all in lane number one, but fell back to third spot. Jeff Bernard third place in the 91 Goodman Real Estate. We don't want to forget about Jamie Nielsen. Jamie exiting turn number 2. He will come down to get the checkered flag. And Brad, I think there might be some damage on the 11. No, it's just the way the sun is shining on the forks of the boat. Fourth place to Jamie Nielsen in the Miss Colleen.
I believe the word is wow. That run down to complete lap number 1 when the 3 of them fanned out, that was some kind of good-looking boat race. And I know you heard the fans down here. They were hooting and hollering. That was just doggone good boat racing. Jeff, why don't you run down our unofficial finish of Unlimited 3A presented by Explore Lake Guntersville.
Visit ExploreLakeGuntersville.com. 3A, unofficial order. First place, Jimmy Shane, Miss Home Street. Second place, Corey Peabody, Lynx Healthcare. Third place, Jeff Bernard, Goodman Real Estate. Fourth place, Jamie Nielsen in Miss Colleen Guntersville. How about that start of the day? The Unlimiteds will be back out on the water later this morning at 11 a.m. Central Time for Unlimited 3B, sponsored by Explore Lake Guntersville. Follow us on Facebook and join us for the 2022 Summer Bucket List Challenge. You might just stay with us at the lake. Explore Lake Guntersville. Unlimited 3B at 11 o'clock. Coming up next, we'll have Pro-Lite Heat 3A at 10:15 with the sponsor, Rahogo.
Watching the drone on the way, riding over the guy in the van coming back and forth. He's got his cell phone there. Give me that. No, they. Yeah.
Hello again, race fans. Remember, we started this day by saying we had 14 heats of competition to run today. I had a terrible time giving awards away yesterday. There were only 11. So we're even going to be busier, but in the grand scheme, nothing gets better than that. Katie, you've done amazing putting this schedule together and keeping activity and action on the water. We're going to take our heat winners a little bit out of order. We should have started with our Grand Prix America winner, which was the first heat of the morning, but instead, we're going to start with our Unlimited Heat 3A, which was presented by Explore Lake Guntersville and ExploreLakeGuntersville.com. I'm going to ask Katie Norton to come up here and help with the trophy presentation. But our winner of Explore Lake Guntersville Heat 3A, the boat's powder blue, it's white. He's been up here twice before. This is number 3. Young man hails from San Antonio, Texas. His name is Jimmy Shane. The boat is proving to be a rocket. But the first thing I want to ask you, I know you're winning these heats. This is all cool. You're getting all kinds of hardware here. I think the one you want to win's about 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah, that's probably the most important one this weekend, but every heat is a great heat here in Guntersville, Alabama, and really excited to put on another great show that heat. The 9 boat definitely picked up some speed. I had to absolutely run as hard as the boat would run just to keep up on the outside of them. So it's going to be 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also not looking forward to it because the competition is as stiff as it's been in many years, and it's just going to be a wonderful event all day for you guys here on the lake shores, and we're looking forward to continued success all weekend long.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, that heat was the heat of the weekend, and I don't know how it looked from where you were, but when you came off the top end of the race course on lap number 1, you were 3 wide because you had your teammate over there on the inside of it. You had all kinds of company coming down the front straight. People were hooting and hollering. That was something special.
The race always looks good when you're out in front. It's a good place to be, and obviously that's what we're here to do. We're going to try to continue to do that with the Miss Home Street boat. And yeah, Jeff, I thought Jeff was going to be able to hold off Corey that heat. He has a really fast boat, and Corey definitely got fast that heat. So we're gonna see what we can throw into the other boat, the other Miss Madison boat, and hopefully we can have a 1-2 finish this weekend.
Going to be a fast Gold Cup.
It is going to be, I'm predicting right now that the all-time speed record for a 2.5-mile course for the Gold Cup will be broken this weekend, which is going to definitely prove that this is the world's fastest water in the South. So. Oh,
well, she will not argue with you right over that. It is her slogan. Anyway, congratulations. 3 up, 3 down. You still got 2 to go. Jimmy Shane, he drives the U1, the Miss Home Street. It's a rocket, looking awfully good. Katie, why don't you come over, take the mic? Oh, she's going to get your piece of hardware. Now you got to start reading. Yeah, just pick out the one. You just pick out the one you want. Well, let's turn the tables here. Mr. Shane, there you go.
All right, you interview me. You can
I want to thank Katie a lot. Katie puts a lot of time and effort into this race, and it's showing here. This fan base has grown exponentially every year that I've been coming since 2016, and I really want to thank Katie and the tourism of Guntersville, Alabama, and here's to years of continued success down here. So thank you for all you do, and I'll give this to you, and then I'll let you hand it back to me.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
We're such clowns.
We are just awaiting the arrival of a sponsor so we can have your moment in the sun with the GP50, Ken Brody and Freedom Racing. Jimmy's a really good spokesman for the H1 Unlimited sport of hydroplane racing. but he's not overhyping it when he's talking about what's going to happen this afternoon at 5 o'clock, because it is indeed going to be something special when this thing is on the line. This is the pinnacle of powerboat racing. So I've been told to stop talking because we need to get a countdown. Jeff, take it away back there, get the clock set, and we'll be ready to go.
Thank you, Brad. Sorry about that. Coming up, we will have the clock countdown coming up here in just a matter of moments for Pro-Lite Heat 3A. Attention the pits. Attention the pits. Pro-Lite drivers, stand by for the 6-minute countdown for 3A. Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That's the 6-minute gun for Pro-Lite 3A. Seconds. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That's the 5-minute period for Pro-Lite Heat 3A, sponsored by Rahogo Drivers. Crank them up. Pro-Lite boats with their sponsor Phenom Digital and RSTZ Transport. Pro-Lite boats, 20-foot in length, 10-foot width, powered by a 350 cubic inch engine, generates 400 horsepower, racing trim with the pilot inside 1,500 pounds, speeds capable of up to 130, competition speeds here at the end of each shoot at Lake Guntersville, looking at about 110, 115. 5-boat field coming up for Pro-Lite 3A, brought to you by Rahogo. First boat by is Patrick Haworth in the Bad Influence. Patrick Haworth resides out of Valleyfield, Quebec, Canada. Next boat is the Flyboy, the blue and yellow craft, owned and driven by Gary Shalvin out of Jackson, Michigan. Next boat off turn number 2, white with the orange-yellow effect. That is the Pleasure Seekers. Dylan Running, the driver, out of Rumson, New Jersey. And we have the senior citizen pilot of Pro-Lite, Mike Horvath, the veteran out of Detroit, driving number 40, Miss General RV. And our final boat up in turn number 2, the Chartreuse Blue, is Paul Barber out of Ottawa, Canada, driving EMS Presents Legacy 1. Coming up on 2 minutes and 35 seconds until the start, 2:35 away. Our start sequence for Pro-Lite is exactly the same for Grand Prix America. Lanes are assigned, clock start format, name of the game be at the start-finish line buoy. At full song, full throttle, if you jump the gun, you're issued a 1-minute penalty on elapsed time. 5-mile competition heats in Pro-Lite 4 times around. The 1.25 mile course at Lake Guntersville. Coming up on the 155 mark. Beautiful morning here in Northeast Alabama. Water conditions are ideal. Just a little bit of breeze, which is helpful on this hot and humid day. So remember to stay hydrated. Keep hydrated throughout the day for our guests and race fans here at Lake Guntersville. Brad, I went over the lineup. Rohogo, Pro-Lite Heat 3A, they are a management group. Let them help you find the perfect vacation rental on Lake Guntersville. A first-time sponsor of Hydrofest, and we welcome Rohogo Management Group to the Hydrofest.
We absolutely do. We thank our sponsors, all of them, but for this particular heat, Heat 3A of our Pro-Lite hydroplanes, Rohogo Management Group, as Jeff just said, first time, thank you for being a part of the 2022 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest. We got a whole pack of boats heading up the backstretch right now. Jeff, this is going to be an interesting heat because we got a couple of winners out there hanging out in lanes 5 and 6. This is going to be good. Watch Barber on the outside.
Barber's hot. Haworth's hot. Could be a tall order from lane number 4 and 5, but I kind of like Dylan running in here in the middle in lane number 3 in Pleasure Seekers. We are 22 seconds until the start. Pro-Lite Heat 3A brought to you by Rohogo. Now you see the field starting to power up. Everyone in their assigned lanes. Might be just a touch early as we are now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. It appears to be a clean start. We're racing. And Rohogo, Pro-Lite Heat 3A, and Dylan Runny leads them across the line. In Pleasure Seekers, it was a good start for the Pro-Lite officials.
It was a good start for the officials. It was a good start for Dylan Runny. And look what it has paid to him. Look at the lead he's opened up, Jeff. He was on the mark, he was on time, and he is gone.
Runny is flying high in Pleasure Seekers, the driver out of Rumson, New Jersey. We got a deck-to-deck battle for second between two heat winners yesterday, Patrick Haworth on the inside and Paul Barber on the outside. We will come down to complete lap number 1. Runny comfortably in front, but this duel for second is a beauty. Haworth, and now Barber has some beans underneath the cowling, and now Barber edges out in front, but Haworth will have the advantage, tighter to the buoy row. Brad Runny comfortably in front, but this battle for second doesn't get no better.
It doesn't get any better, and it doesn't appear to be going away. And there on the outside, all of a sudden, Paul Barber shows his nose. A little bit of superiority coming through the lower corner. Now watch Haworth try and run him down on the inside. Great racing here in our Heat 3A Pro-Lite Heat, presented by Rohogo Management Group. This is good. Watch the top end of the race course. See if Haworth can make that inside lane pay some dividends. He's gaining ground, Jeff.
Barber on the outside. We're halfway through it. Your leader, Runny, passed in Rohogo Management Group, Pro-Lite 3A. Now Barber making a 4-boat length advantage over Haworth for that second place position. We got one boat going dead in the water. That is Mike Horvath in the Miss General RV. Gary Shalvent will move to 4th. Brad Runny comfortably in front, but let's watch this second place battle. Barber looks good on the outside, but Haworth, the veteran, won't give up.
No, he's not going to give up, and he's still got a lap and a half to try and gobble him up. And as we've seen all weekend, anything can happen in boat racing. So our leader, Dylan Runny, will come down, pick up a white flag with one more to go. But the race is at the top end of the race course. And look at the amount of room being, hold him in tight. Boy, that's classic boat racing, Jeff.
Textbook driving by Paul Barber, tighten it up. And now you see Haworth getting a little bit wet in that third position. So, Brad, as I like to say, I think that shouting is done for second. Haworth getting some misty water on that enclosed canopy of the bad influence. Runny comfortably in front. Paul Barber second, Patrick Haworth in third, and Gary Shalvent remains in the 4th position. Final turn, final lap for your leader, Dylan Runny, blistering the waters of Lake Guntersville. Your Pro-Lite winner of 3A, brought to you by Rohogo Management Group, Dylan Runny. pleasure seekers. And Brad, now the battle for second. Haworth had to go the outside wake. He was tired of a car wash on the water, or a boat wash, so to say. Barber will get second, and EMS presents Legacy 1. Patrick Haworth will cross in third in the bad influence. Gary Shalvin looking to remain alive, keep the 350 engine running. We'll bring Gary down for a fourth place finish here in Rehogo Management Group Pro-Lite 3A. So your winner, Dylan Runny. Second place, Paul Barber. Third place, Patrick Haworth. Fourth place, Gary Shalvin. What a start by Runny, a la Bill Muncie.
It was a great start by Dylan Runny, and I was thinking while you were talking, he's got to come over here and pick up a piece of hardware. I'm going to make a suggestion to him that I've said to a few drivers before in the past. Wherever you wrote down those timing marks, don't lose those, because those worked. He was on the line, on time, and he was flying.
Brad, you've got more hardware to pass out.
I do. We got drivers sitting over here texting, drinking Gatorade. He's thinking, he said he called his crew and said, I'm going to be a little late. They're feeding me to get. Anyway, it is all good. Ken Brody, thank you. I'm going to make sure we got everybody gathered up, and we'll get you guys on the road. So can I take it, Jeff?
You sure can. Up next on our schedule at 10:30, a reminder is Guntersville Chevrolet Grand Prix Heat 2B coming up at 10:30. Then we'll go back to the Unlimiteds at 11 a.m. for Explore Lake Guntersville Unlimited Heat 3B. Follow Explore Lake Guntersville on Facebook and join them for the 2022 Summer Bucket List Challenge. Brad Luce is at the award stage. Take it away. A reminder to our fans along the shoreline, H1 Unlimited, all boats cleared tech in Unlimited 3A. Winner, Jimmy Shane, Miss Home Street. Second place, Corey Peabody, Lynx Healthcare. Third place, Jeff Bernard, Miss Goodman Real Estate. Fourth place, Jamie Nielsen, Miss Colleen.
They tend to do that on purpose, so they don't have to, a lot of people think that's a good thing. Oh, look at that.
Got to put a limiter on.
Okay, race fans, once again, we're going to do our best to keep things moving along. We unfortunately made our winner of Grand Prix Heat 2A, presented by Guntersville Chevrolet. We made him kind of wait a couple of minutes through that last heat, and I was just advised we've got 6 minutes to do this, so things are happening quick. Again, thank you, Katie Norton, wherever you are, and thank you, Philip Mosley. This is an awesome schedule. I won't go into it again, but Guntersville Chevrolet, thank you for your participation in the 2022 Hydrofest. Our winner was Ken Brody, and Ken, I know you know the importance of sponsorship. Guntersville Chevrolet stepped up. That's always a big deal.
Absolutely. Every weekend, we wouldn't be here without sponsors, and it's great to be able to come up here and be part of recognizing the Heat sponsor.
So let's talk a little bit about the boat race. You had a nice inside lane, but boy, when you put your foot in it, it really responded.
Yeah, this was a much better heat than yesterday. The first time on this course, it's great to be here in Guntersville, but for me, it's the first time with the Unlimiteds. There's a lot of buoys, so you just want to make sure you're safe. but felt really good in the heat. Still a little late on the start, but was good enough to put it out front, the GP50 Freedom, and bring it home.
It's a fast race boat. You're exactly right. That's what we saw. It looked much stronger than it did yesterday. What do you do now?
Go back, look at the data coming off of the last heat, and see if we can, squeeze another 4 or 5 mile an hour out it. This was a great win, but really we're just getting going today. We got another qualifier. We need to put, some good points there, and then, at 4:30, hopefully we're in a good position to win the final.
I got the comment from Jimmy Shane about their final heat that's coming up. I'll kind of throw the same thing at you. It's going to be a fast final heat.
We have probably 5 or 6 boats. The Kiwis are super fast. The 79's quick. The 14 seems a little off this weekend, but they're liable to change engines and be right there. So you can never count out the Kennedys. And same with the 35. Thompson boys are running too.
The 50's not bad either.
Hey, we're going to get out there and try and get away, that's for sure. And just a shout out for my sponsor, GP50 Pressure Sensors, my owner, Don Less. We wouldn't be able to do this without him.
All right, I'm going to turn it over to Philip Mosley, race chairman here representing Guntersville Chevrolet. I'll hand you the mic. I'll get out of the way.
Thank you, Brad. Ken, it's so nice to have you here for the first time. We hope you have you back here in Guntersville next year. And with that said, on behalf of Guntersville Chevrolet, I'm very pleased to hand this trophy over to you, sir. Thank you so much, Ken. Get a photo right there. Yeah. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, we got to get this buoy repositioned and then get that boat out of the way. So if you can look at it, get it close. Can you hold that just at 6 minutes? Or do you have to keep your finger on it? I can keep it on. Okay.
I made some new friends this morning down in the club level. Such good friends that we decided we were going to dedicate and donate a song to all of you down here in the club level. If you want to get up, move your arms, stretch your legs a little bit, but this is for you in the club level. A little Earth, Wind, and Fire, September. Let's hear some singing down there. I see you standing up. You're ready to go. You probably want to do another interview. No, he says. Okay, that's good enough.
down.
Attention the pits. Attention the pits. Stand by. For our fans along the shoreline, before we go into the clock countdown for GPA Heat 2B, we noticed right at the last moment, one of our green course markers for the 1 1/4 mile race course is out of position. We will get that back into position, and then we'll come back to give you the clock countdown for GPA Heat 2B. I'm just waiting on them on that buoy, so hang tight. No, just hang tight. This is GPA 2A, before laps.
Hey, going up, Rye.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna stand right here. Why do you have to go that far?
No, it's my hand got tired. I'm not into that conversation. You can come and hold the button for 5-10 minutes. Shouldn't be.
I totally get it. Yeah.
Hold on. go up. Hey Ryan, where you want me? Right there. Where are they? I got time to go. Yeah.
Right, race fans, more hardware to give away. We seem to do a lot of that. This time it is for our Pro-Lite Heat 3A presented by the Rohogo Management Group. A little bit of a surprise for me when I met the representatives of Rohogo. But first and foremost, thank you, Rohogo, for sponsoring and being a part of the 2022 Guntersville Hydrofest. And I know you know all about sponsors. That's a big deal.
Absolutely. We appreciate the support. It takes a lot to come out here and put this type of event on. So thank you guys for everything you do for the event here. It's an absolutely great place to race. I'm already looking forward to coming back next year. The fans are second to none. The water, you can't beat it, and we're having a lot of fun down here.
He's talking about the water to race on, just in case there was a question there. It's pretty good to drink as well. No, but these guys are the lifeblood of the whole thing. And I can honestly tell you, we do not stand back here and go, all right, plug the city. Will you tell them everything? This is right out of the man's mouth. That's real McCoy stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. We appreciate everything they do for us.
Tell me about that start. Seemed to look pretty good from where I was standing.
You know, we were a little early on the first start, a little late on the second one, so it looks like we finally found our marks, and we're looking ready to put it together in the final here.
And it's going to be a fast final.
Absolutely. There's a lot of competition down here. We're having fun, but everyone's going to have something for us in the final, so we're going to get our best start together, get the boat tuned up, and get ready to go here.
And the boat's all back in one piece? You're ready to go?
We're all back in one piece, battery, fuel, and we'll be set for the final here.
Dylan Runny, he was the winner of our Heat 3A presented by Rohogo Management Group. And now these two lovely ladies over here. I have Darlene Temple, whom I did not know worked for Rohogo. Been a friend since, I don't know, I guess when I started down here in 2018. Got with her Vicki Mills. This is part of the management team there at Rohogo. I know you are not shy. I'm giving you the microphone. You can give you've got the hardware. You take the show from here. You're on your own, bud.
Good luck with this. No, thank you very much. We are so excited to be a sponsor this year for Rohogo, and of course we didn't know that Brad didn't know who we were, but now he does. So, but thank you, and we look forward to seeing you out there again.
Absolutely.
As a winner.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Would you like to say anything?
I also am glad we were a first-time sponsor this year, and we want to say thank you to all those boaters that are staying with us at the Hampton Inn and the Fairfield Inn in Albertville. We appreciate you.
Step forward. Step right over here. We get the photo op. All of you out there, we get the photo op here, and then we go racing. Vicki Mills, Darlene Temple, Rahogo Management. Thank you, Darlene. That was awesome.
I love you.
I love you too, sweetie. Now I know where you work. You're in trouble. All right, Dylan Runny, Pleasure Seekers, boat number 2. Thank you and your team for coming up. Jeff Ayler, put a countdown on the clock. Let's go racing.
Thank you, Brad. Still in a slight holding pattern here, getting that buoy into position. So hopefully here very shortly, we'll have the clock countdown coming up for GPA Heat 2B. Stand by, race fans. Attention the pits. Attention the pits. Grand Prix America drivers stand by for countdown to the 6-minute mark for Heat 2B. Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. 6-minute period for GPA 2B. Thirty seconds. 20. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That is the 5-minute period for Grand Prix America Heat 2B, sponsored by Guntersville Chevrolet. Drivers, crank them up. Jeff Ayler with Brad Luce, the second largest hydroplane class on the planet, the Grand Prix America Hydroplane Series presented by Knighton Industries. 24-foot length boat, 12-foot width, powered by a 468 cubic inch engine, generates 1,400 horsepower, racing trim with the pilot inside, 2,700 pounds. Brad, these boats no doubt well capable of doing 170 miles per hour, but in competition here, Lake Guntersville at the end of each shoot, 140, 145, 150, $155.
I think that's about what you would see in these straightaways, but instead of a boat just out here to see how fast they can go in a straight line, we're on closed course racing here. That's what we've been doing all weekend. We look across the pond here, if you will. We got our 3 boats coming, and let's take a look at them. There's a couple, actually there's 3 here I like, and I'm just going to relay that same story I mentioned yesterday. Greg Hopp is on the outside. He's driving a very old hull. When it gets to the straightaway, I don't know that there's a boat that can run with this one. It is so fast in a straight line. As Greg Hopp told me one time when I said, what's your strategy on the outside? He says, I'm going to wind that motor up so high only dogs can hear it.
Always love that line from you, my friend Brad Luce. And speaking of that boat, we see that craft on our stream through H1 Unlimited via YouTube. Good lineup we got here, Brad. 3 boats, and the Kiwi in the middle, Jack Lupton, I would pencil as a slight favorite in here, but Kennedy and Hopp are tough customers.
Yeah, Kennedy's sitting in lane 1. I had not really seen that boat run before till yesterday, and I was very impressed. The boat is quick. But let's ID the boats as they come around here. We were talking about Greg Hopp in that Southern Elite Realty GP15, low profile, bright yellow. Greg Hopp out of Snohomish, Washington. Right behind him, Jeff, here comes the Kiwi. The Kiwi, Jack Lupton, Lupton Motorsports, GP33. And just entering the upper corner, Jeff, bring him around. That's our boat number 35.
That's the TM Special, driven by Bobby Kennedy out of Fenton, Michigan. Owners Ron and Sandy Thompson out of Bel Air, Maryland. TM Special, Ron and Sandy always likes to thank their associate sponsors, Sherwin-Williams and Reliable Diamond Tool. And Brad, Bobby Kennedy's mom, Patty Hayes, it is difficult for her to watch her son and nephew drive hydroplanes while she's on vacation in Germany. Hi, Patty.
We hope she's watching, and she'd probably have more fun than we are, even as much fun as we're having here. To be over in Germany, that would be something special. Hope you're watching, hope you're enjoying.
For our fans,
Go ahead.
Sorry, Brad. For our fans along the shoreline and watching at home via online with H1 Unlimited through YouTube, start procedure for the Grand Prix, assigned lanes. It is a clock start, as you can see in the upper right-hand corner. Brad, the name of the game, be it these white buoys, the start-finish line buoy at full song, full throttle, just a skosh to the left of those when the clock strikes 0. If you jump the gun in GPA, a 1-minute penalty is tagged onto your lapse time, which moves you back in the field. So, interesting start procedure. I do like the assigned lanes and clock start in GPA, and we'll see how this one fares out. Bobby Kennedy, lane 1. Jack Lupton, lane 2. Greg Hopp in lane 3, and Brad Hopp has the local sponsor, Southern Elite Realty and Foodland Plus. We welcome them on board here at Guntersville.
Absolutely great to have them on board. You were talking about being just a skosh behind that start-finish line buoy. I had somebody this morning say, you know, you're talking about being a skosh behind that buoy. You can also be just a smidgen.
You can be a smidgen, and we've come up with some nice new adjectives for our broadcast this weekend. We are 10 seconds away. Guntersville, buckle up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. Appears to be a clean start. We're racing in Guntersville Chevrolet. Heat 2B in GPA. Patty Kennedy Hayes watching in Germany, where it's almost 6 o'clock. Your son leads it in turn number 1 on lap number 1, Bobby Kennedy in TM Special.
Yeah, Jack Lupton, he's the third-place boat. He was tardy at the start, and now he's paying the price, and down he goes. He is dropping down, yet being tardy is a big problem. Now watch the top end of the race course. As you said, Kennedy is out front. The start is good, but here comes the hopper. He wants to try and run him down, Jeff.
And Lupton is refired. Not certain if he got a little bit wet back here. Kennedy leads it looking sharp on the buoy row in TM Special. 1 complete, 3 to go. Hop chases in Southern Elite Realty. Foodland Plus. Lupton is refired in third. And Lupton Motorsports. And boy, Brad, Bobby Kennedy driving a nice one right on the buoy row.
Man, he is right on the buoy row. Nailed the start, nailed the first turn, and he is gone. Greg Hopp decided to give him some trouble on lap 1, but now Hopp's got more trouble. He's got speed coming up behind him in the form of Jack Lupton.
We're at the halfway mark of Guntersville Chevrolet Grand Prix Heat 2B, and Greg Hopp's spotter, Jerry Hopp, better say, here comes Jack Lupton, but it's too late, and Lupton, who nestled dead in the water, has powered into second. Kennedy, your leader. Hop to the inside in the yellow craft, but there is Lupton, and Brad, whatever the problem was with Lupton, it was solved quickly. He's on the chase.
I'm thinking the only problem he had was he was tardy at the start, and he drove a hallway into lane 1. He got wet, had to back off. Once he got things cleared out, the boat's running like a rocket, but talking about a rocket, Bobby Kennedy with a white flag.
White flag displayed, 1 1/4 miles to go to victory for Brandon Kennedy here in Guntersville Chevrolet Heat 2B. Jack Lupton recovers, wants those second place points in GP33 Lupton Motorsports, and you can tell by the sound of that 468 underneath the bonnet for the GP15 Southern Elite Realty Foodland Plus, not quite up to snuff here in Heat 2B. Final turn, final lap for your leader, Bobby Kennedy out of Fenton, Michigan, driving for Ron and Sandy Thompson out of Bel Air, Maryland. Checkered flags waving. Your winner of Guntersville Chevrolet GPA 2B is Bobby Kennedy. Jack Lupton, great recovery, will come across the line and get second place points in Lupton Motorsports, that brand new craft built by Bert Henderson out of Brockville, Ontario, Canada. But Brad, the good news for the 15 camp, Greg survives it. They do score those third place points in Southern Elite Realty Foodland Plus. But Bobby Kennedy, sharp. His mom is in Germany. Cheers.
Absolutely, absolutely. Put on a very, very good show. We've talked yesterday about Greg Hopp and that boat, the Southern Elite Realty, and how it's an old hull. It's won more races than most boats will ever enter. It's been such a famous hole, but as you watch that boat go around, especially in the corner, and for that moment when the boat is coming right at you, and you compare it with the boat that Jack Lupton is driving, you really get to see the difference in the width of the boat and how much air is going through that air tunnel and the trap underneath the boat. It's an older design, Jeff. They were much narrower back in the day, and he may be able to wind that thing up in the chutes. If we had, you know, like unlimited length chutes, he might be the boat to beat, but he's got to get around those corners.
Oh, you do have to get around these turns, and it's a beautiful laid out course here at Lake Guntersville for our Grand Prix America hydroplanes and Pro-Lites, 1 1/4 mile track. Brad Luce up next. We're going to go to the big pups, the H1 Unlimited hydroplanes. Coming up next on our card will be Unlimited Heat 3B, sponsored by Explore Lake Guntersville. Follow Explore Lake Guntersville on Facebook and join them for the 2022 Summer Bucket List Challenge. You might have a chance to stay at the lake. I have got to find out where I sign up for that, because I would love to come back to gorgeous Lake Guntersville on my time and enjoy the hospitality of this community. Brad, everyone I have met here with this race committee, people in town the past 2 years, the hospitality, there's not a chart for it. It's off it.
It is off it. Like we always say, there's Southern hospitality, and then there's Guntersville hospitality. It's one step above it. Ted Grange, giving you a shout out. You were the one that coined that phrase, but it is so very, very true. I don't know if you heard, Jeff, but during the last trophy presentation, I said to the fans that were out there listening to Dell and Runny wax poetically about this particular community, and I said, look, all these drivers are coming up here and saying this. We're not telling them to do it behind the stage. They're coming up, and this is of their own volition. They're all just saying over and over again how great this venue is, and indeed it is. I want to take this opportunity too, Jeff, for just a moment. I'd like to remind our fans that the pit tours are a terrific way to see the hydroplanes up close. For those of you with an ultimate pass or the club level ticket, you can get over to the pits today, and I highly suggest you do it. The buses will leave out of gate 1 and will take you to both pit areas. That's pit 1 and pit 2. Those began at 10 o'clock this morning. They will run until 3 p.m. today. So if you'd like to get over and see the boats, find your way over across the lake or just down on the other side of the causeway to one of the pits. Get to see the boats up close, talk to the drivers and crews. They aren't shy, Jeff. They'll all talk to you about their hydroplane.
And also, too, make your way over there. A lot of the teams have what they call, Brad, the hero cards. Drivers will give those to you. They've got Sharpies. What's up? You have, yes, you do. Yeah, and well-deserving. A Brad Luce hydroplane announcer race card. I have one at my place, and it is dynamite. We are inside the 9-minute mark for H1 Unlimited Heat 3B, brought to you by Explore Lake Guntersville. Brad, the big guys are coming back out, the world's fastest racing boats. We are running for the 2022 APBA Gold Cup this weekend. The final heat will take place at 5 o'clock Central Time. The 112th running, the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world.
Doesn't get much better than that. Before we spin a few discs here, which I think we will do, that's old talk for music. You probably didn't recognize that. Our 3 boats that are going to come out is the U8, the Miss Tri-Cities, the U40, the Beacon Plumbing, and the U3, the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Of interest in that heat, Miss Tri-Cities, our defending Lake Guntersville champion, sitting on the bubble here right there with 525 points. He is number 5, and you have to be in the top 5 to get on that front row. And tell you what, that's a tough draw right there.
That is, of course, Dave Villwalk on paper the favorite here, but we run them on water. But J. Mike right now would love to have a win here and take that away from Vilwalk. But Brad, so far this weekend, the turbocharged Allison. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, a throwback unlimited hydroplane racing to the forefront back in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. Ed Cooper Jr., the owner of the boat in Posey County, Indiana, just west of Evansville, has the turbocharged Allison. It's humming perfect.
It's humming really perfect, and they looked really strong. We always said we wanted to see that boat down here in these nice long straightaways, because once you wind that big piston motor up, it goes. Jeff, I just want to take one moment here, and I want to say thanks to some people. Those of you up and down the beach and in the pit area that can hear Jeff and I in our interviews and trophy presentations and all that good stuff. A special thanks goes out to the Guntersville Electric Board and Mosley's Cellar Studio for helping ensure all you fans and teams can hear the race today and what's going on. It says on my copy here, Jeff, that they had lots of challenges this week. That would put it very, very mildly. There were many challenges this week on the equipment side. They had some failures, but there was a lot of people that worked really hard, some working around the clock pretty much all week to make sure this sound system would work for us. We certainly appreciate their partnership. Sometimes people reach over and unplug you and I because they're done listening to us, but they at least put them into where they could if they wanted to.
Oh, Brad, they've done a wonderful job, and great to work with them, and they're just like everybody else in this part of the country. They've just been so hospitable and great to work with, and glad they're on board with us, providing the sound at the 2022 Lake Guntersville Hydrofest APBA Gold Cup for the H1 Unlimited Hydroplanes.
We are inside 6 minutes to the start. While we were talking there, it happened. In fact, we're 5:50 right now away from the start. It is Heat 3B of the H1 Unlimited Hydroplane Series. It is the 2022 APBA Gold Cup here in beautiful Lake Guntersville in Guntersville, Alabama. Heat 3B is presented to the Hydrofest by Explore Lake Guntersville. Follow them on Facebook. Explore Lake Guntersville. And if you're not here, that's a good place to go. Dial them up and see what we're talking about, because we are not overselling this one.
Boats leaving the pit area right now. The first one out is the U40 Miss Beacon Plumbing with Dave Vilwalk, followed by the U8 Miss Tri-Cities with J. Michael Kelly and Jimmy King getting a light and answer to the turbocharged Allison U3. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. 3 laps in this Explore Lake Guntersville Unlimited Heat 3B. Clock start. It is fight for lanes in H1 Unlimited. Brad, that's what makes H1 Unlimited hydroplane racing exciting. These drivers out here right now, when they left, have no idea what lane they'll be in right now. That's what we call the race before the race. ID our boats in this heat.
Yeah, first thing I want everybody to watch right now, I may be wrong on this one, but that is J. Michael Kelly on the outside. See if Mike doesn't really wind it up here. He did not have what looked like a good boat ride earlier today. I think he wants to find out right now. Boat ride looks pretty good. He just pulled his foot and he let Dave go by. Jeff, he came out of the pit area rocking and rolling and went around Dave at the top end, put his foot in it, and I just had the hunch he was going to give it a hard squirt down the front straightaway and see what the boat ride looked like. The only other piece I want to mention about all that is, for the first time this weekend, we actually have a little bit of a chop out here. We've got a little bit of a breeze coming across. This is going to be, and the water is by no means rough, but this is the roughest water that we have seen all weekend. It's the first time it hasn't laid down like a mill pond.
It is, Brad, but very manageable.
Oh, yes.
Coming up here for 3B, we are 3:30 away, and here's the Turbinator. Turbocharged Allison. Brad, as the day went on yesterday, these fans in Guntersville, they like the Turbinator.
They do like the Turbinator, and there he is, Jimmy King behind the wheel. Now, what's going on behind Mr. King right now is very interesting. We mentioned that J. Michael Kelly is number 5 in points. The top 5 boats in points get the run on the front row. Kelly is sitting on the bubble, and he's got a tough draw here. He is shadowing Dave Villwalk. Dave Villwalk up the backstretch tried to leave him and lose him and cut the course. Mike went right with him. Keep an eye on those 2 boats. Now Mike has kind of let him go, him being Dave Villwalk in the bright orange Beacon Plumbing, as Villwalk goes past Jimmy King in the piston-powered boat. Watch the top end of the course, Jeff Ayler. Let's see if anybody wants to come across. We are at 2:35.
Brad, your thoughts? I think the Turbinator, Jimmy King, right now, 600 points in the 3rd position right now in the point totals. I think they'll go the outside, remain clean, be safe. I think right now J. Michael Kelly would love to get lane number 1 to put Villwalk on his outside hip and have that positioning on the buoy row. That's kind of how I see this milling period taking place.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think J. Michael Kelly is going to pull a rabbit out of the hat here and try and make a decent move or a good move to try and get that inside lane. We always say, Jeff, if you've got an ace up your sleeve, you don't want to play it in the preliminary heat, but when you're sitting on the bubble and you're number 5 in points and you draw these 2 guys, you got something good up your sleeve. You got to make it work. Here comes Dave. Dave's going to come across behind everybody, so that's going to leave Kelly with an inside lane, Jeff.
Beautiful shot of the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware on our video with H1 Unlimited via YouTube, going by the start-finish line buoy. We are coming up on the 1 minute 30-second mark. There it is, 1:30 away. So Jimmy King will lead the field down in turn number 1, and Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Right now, J. Michael Kelly does have the positioning to be on the inside of Villwalk and Beacon Plumbing. You have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin. Turn number 2 to the left of us here on Lake Guntersville. Brad King is to the outside. Bring this lane situation up for Kelly and Villwalk.
The U8, the Miss Tri-Cities. J. Michael Kelly behind the wheel is in lane number 1. Then next to him, the bright orange boat, the U40, the Beacon Plumbing, driven by Dave Villwalk, the winningest driver in the history of H1 Unlimited Racing. And Jeff Ayler, as you called it, Jimmy King didn't want to have any part of it. He stayed wide to the outside. I think he's going to wind that thing up and give it a run down to the start. We still have we still have 35 seconds now until our start. The 3 boats are approaching the entrance pin to the buoy. They're a little bit early, but they're going to be just fine. They're going to be able to get a good run at the start. This might be real good. Coming up on 23, 2, 1. 20 seconds. Jeff, let's start. Heat 3B, presented by Explore Lake Guntersville.
I like the sequence. You need to be there at 15 seconds off the exit pin. Everyone was. The rooster tail rises. We are now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. It appears to be a clean start. We're racing in Explore Lake Guntersville. Unlimited Heat 3B here at the 2022 APBA Gold Cup. Into turn number 1, and getting there first is Dave Villwalk in lane number 2 in the Beacon Plumbing. J. Michael Kelly tucked back in second. Brad, it's Villwalk leading, but can Kelly get a charge?
We're going to find out what kind of shoot speed Mike's got right now. The start is good. So the start was legal. The way they're running on the water is the way they are running legally from a start perspective. You can hear King. He is on the outside of J. Michael Kelly. He's in 3rd place. But Jeff Ayler, the speed in the U40 Beacon Plumbing. Dave's got a rocket up there. He is walking away from JMK.
Villwalk clearly in front, but we got a side-by-side battle for second. Dave Villwalk will come down to complete lap number 1 in Explore Lake Guntersville Unlimited 3B, but here's your deck-to-deck battle for second, and the Turbinator pulls Kelly on the outside. Villwalk clearly in front. Brad will watch this second place duel as they go into turn number 1. Kelly getting in the wake of Villwalk in turn number 1, and King's got smoother water on the outside wake. Brad, they come off side by side.
Yeah, believe me, Dave Villwalk knows exactly what's going on behind him. He also knows that Kelly's got to get points, so he's leaving him as rough a lane as he can, and Kelly's having to run through it. Meanwhile, King in the piston boat. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, opened up about 6 boat lengths all the way at the top end of the course. course already at the apex. U40 Beacon Plumbing. Dave Vilwalk showing an incredible amount of power. Kelly's got to stay after this, Jeff. Oh, and he hooked up there a little bit. He got loose and had to pull his foot. It's a tough one for Kelly in that slop in one.
It's all Dave Vilwalk and Explorer Lake Guntersville. Unlimited Heat 3B, white flag displayed. One more lap to go for Vilwalk in front. But boy, what a performance by the Turbinator. Jimmy King and U3. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Right now, King in a solid second place finish. And the Go3 Racing team looking for their second place on the weekend. J. Michael Kelly remains in the third position. Brad, it's all Vilwalk, but let's keep our eye on King and Kelly for second.
I tell you, those guys from Evansville, Indiana, the red U3 Turbinator. Griggs presents Ace Hardware. They came to race. This thing's running really hard. Kelly is in a tough spot right now. He's running through a whole bunch of slop. He got caught in it at the top end of the race course. He got caught in the bottom end of the race course. Checkered flag goes up in the air. As you like to say, Jeff, final turn, final lap. Bring home Mr. Vilwalk.
Explore Lake Guntersville, Unlimited Heat 3B. 68-year-old Dave Vilwalk wins it in U40 Miss Beacon Plumbing. The second place finish for the weekend for the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Jimmy King in second in the Turbinator. Third place will go to J. Michael Kelly in the U8 Miss Tri-Cities. So unofficially, Dave Vilwalk your winner in Beacon Plumbing. Jimmy King second. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. J. Michael Kelly third in Miss Tri-Cities. Brad Vilwalk's got some power. He's got a great boat ride, but this Turbinator, 5 o'clock this afternoon, if they can hook that piston-powered boat up in lane number 1, might cause a little bit of havoc.
Somebody's going to have to deal with him sooner or later. They have run beautifully out here, and we said this is a good course for them. They're showing it. The boat is really, really fast in the straightaway. You called the start, put him on a wide outside, let him wind it up. He did, and beautiful start. Brought him across. He broke the clock. Took him down to turn 1.
Well, that's where you're using your team, your thoughts before going out. The Turbinator, 3 second-place finishes on the weekend. Brad, that gives them 900 points. So right now, a nice finish in the 4th section, and Charlie Grigg, the sponsor out of Tri-Cities, Washington, could see Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware in this front row final heat of the 2022 Gold Cup. The Turbinator, my cousin always liked this in Evansville, Ginger. I said one time that thing runs like a Swiss wristwatch.
There it does. I'm going to add another little piece to that whole thing because, as you know, we found out last night while we were sitting at dinner, they're live streaming over the loudspeakers at the Richland Regatta in the Tri-Cities of Washington. Yours and my call of these H1 Unlimited Heats. We also know Charlie Grigg is there. We know he's listening. Charlie, your boat is running like a rocket, man. It's good.
Looking sharp, and Vilwalk looking sharp. They're still looking for some answers, it appears, for the U8 Miss Tri-Cities, your defending Southern Cup champion. Brad, up next on our race card, we'll have Guntersville Chevrolet Heat 2C. We'll go back to the Grand Prix America boats. Guntersville Chevrolet. Change your experience with Guntersville Chevrolet. I bet they got a friendly shuttle pilot at Guntersville Chevrolet.
As good as that individual might be, they don't hold a candle to you, my friend. And I've never even had a shuttle ride with you. I'm just betting on to come.
And that's Chandler Chevrolet on Madison, Indiana's Hilltop. I'm the friendly shuttle driver at Chandler Chevrolet.
So, let me come with one of the more important features of today and everybody here. That big word right there, Jeff. Hydrate. We don't have the heat beating down on us. I got people beating down on me to make sure I stay hydrated. Make sure there is a lot of fluid and the right type of fluid going into your body. Get those electrolytes, get those vitamins, get those minerals. Make sure you're staying hydrated. And as someone who can speak from experience, it's no fun when it goes the other way.
So it didn't even do it when I was back there, but it did it once I got back out.
So if there's people standing between you and the drone, there'll be problems. So you need to keep yourself, don't let people be in between you.
But I appreciate how we recovered that one. I smacked that fucking cat. It's coming down pretty hard. This thing would have hit the table so fucking hard.
Yeah, because I don't have a landing protection turned on.
Yeah, that's the athlete right there. Oh, I love it. Because there was no fucking way, right?
So did you get back up?
Yeah.
Did you go back there?
Yeah, but I didn't really get there. But
So don't go behind the fucking trees. Go out and follow. Go straight out to the one tree out there. Go straight out there. You get what they want, and then
backing up. You know what I mean? I'm trying to back up, but I was trying to look at the court. What I did is I went too high. Right, I went straight up. Backing up. So I pushed up. Right? I get to the middle of the course, direct. Yeah, so I gotta, I'm going to go low out. So I can see the damn movie.
Race fans, here we go with more awards. We keep running heats. We keep giving awards away. This is kind of fun. This time, it is for our Grand Prix America hydroplanes. It was Heat 2B. It was presented by Guntersville Chevrolet. So everybody out there that got a Chevrolet from Guntersville, you probably recognize this face that's standing behind me here. But he represents Guntersville Chevrolet. I say this every time I come up here. I'm going to say it every time after when I get up here. These are the people that make the racing happen. If we don't have a sponsor, it doesn't happen. So thank you very, very much for all you do. But this guy, he has a role in this to play too. I want to introduce everybody to Bobby Kennedy here, who was the winner of our Heat 2B presented by Guntersville Chevrolet. I know you know a little bit about sponsorship and how important that guy is.
Oh yeah, sponsorships, without it, we wouldn't be racing, and without sponsors, we wouldn't have events. So from us racers to you, thank you very much for sponsoring this great event. This is awesome. I cannot wait to come back next year. I wish you guys had one in the winter and one in the summer. We could come race here 2 times.
Gonna be a little cooler in the winter.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever sweat this bad in a boat race before, but I'm liking it.
Talk to me a little bit about the Heat. Your boat just responded and you ran away and hid.
We put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in this boat over the past year, and we're making changes a little at a time. We're finally getting there, and we went out and hit the start, and I'm looking in my mirror looking for Jack, and I see Hop rolling on the outside, and he's pretty quick, and I knew Jack was going to be there, but Jack had a mishap, and once I heard that Jack was falling back, I just said, it's on, and let's put the foot down and keep going.
Keep it going, keep it going. You did. What do you do now between now and your next heat?
We got to go look at the race data, see if we need to change anything, the tune-up on the engine. We're going to change some stuff set up on the boat. We're almost there, but we still have some tuning to do on the boat and engine. But my horsepower man is coming through today, and he's doing a great job.
He is doing his job. You're going to like this part. So you just told me, standing over there, your mom comes to all your races, but she's not at this race. Where's Mom?
She's in Germany at a wedding watching, and it's kind of funny. I'm 36 years old, and my mom still comes to all my races.
That's what moms do. Doesn't go away.
Oh, this is a big family sport. You know, I race against my cousin. My uncle is, you know, he works on my boat, works on my cousin's boat. You know, it's a big family sport. You know, I just have to thank Ron and Sandy Thompson for giving me the opportunity for driving this boat. To Ron and Sandy, I know you're listening. We're getting the boat there. We're going to go.
Okay, I'm going to help you out because I'm a little older and I have an older mother. She's listening. Make sure you say hi to Mom.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Miss you guys. My dad's my radio guy, and he's in Germany. So I have my brother stepping in, doing my radios, and he's doing a great job. You know, I have my other little brother on the crew. You know, it's just a big family thing.
And that's what it's all about. Congratulations. It was a great heat. We'll look for you later on in the day. I'm going to hand the mic over to Bruce Moss. He is here from Guntersville Chevrolet. I'm going to go clobber my color commentator for that. That came from him. Guntersville Chevrolet. We'll get that one right. Thank you for your participation in the sport. I'm going to give you the mic, give him the hardware, and get a photo.
All right, Bobby, on behalf of the Guntersville Lake Hydrofest, we're so grateful to have you here. And most importantly, the boat looks amazing. The TM Special looked beautiful out there on the water. And on behalf of Guntersville Chevrolet and all the staff, congratulations. This is yours. You deserve it.
Thank you, sir. Get a photo. There you go.
Good luck. Attention, the pits. Attention, the pits. Attention, the pits. Grand Prix America drivers, please stand by for countdown to the 6-minute period coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That is the 6-minute period for GPA 2C. Thirty seconds. 20. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark. That is the 5-minute period for Grand Prix America Heat 2C, sponsored by Guntersville Chevrolet. Drivers, crank them up. Four minutes and 20 seconds until the start. Boats making their way out on the race course. Assigned lanes, clock start in Grand Prix America. Second largest hydroplane class in the world. 24-foot length, 12-foot width. Engine, 468 cubic inch. Pops out 1,400 horsepower. Racing trim with the pilot inside, 2,700 pounds. These boats well capable of doing 170 miles per hour, but Brad in competition speed here at the end of each shoot, probably about 140, 145, 150, maybe even touching 155. Heat 2C sponsored by Guntersville Chevrolet. Change your experience with Guntersville Chevrolet. Brad Luce, let's go over our lineup for 2C.
Let's take a look. Coming off the top end of the race course, he's going to be sitting in lane 1. That's the GP79, the Bad Influence, driven by Jeff Bernard. Was a champion last year. Would love to be there again. Boca owned by Mike Grindell. Great looking hydroplane orange with the checkerboard effect. Coming off the top end of the race course here now, the GP 577 Lucas Oil, handled by Ken Lupton. Man, this thing was fast yesterday. Wow, he's quick.
It's a rocket ship, and Ken, of course, out of Waverly, New Zealand. And Brad, you like the next boat coming out with a rookie driver in GPA, but definitely not a rookie to hydroplane racing.
No, he's not. He's been racing boats seemingly forever, and that's been up in Region 10. I've been watching this kid for years. His name is Austin Ekert. They call him Awesome Austin Ekert. And yesterday was his first ever heat of Grand Prix hydroplane racing. And Jeff, he came out of that corner on the outside like he was shot out of a cannon.
GP12 with their local sponsor, Wilkes Tire and Battery Service. Also, to Advantage Pest Controls on the decking of the racecraft. So, Brad, we're approaching the 2-minute mark, 2:05 away actually right now, but I love this lineup. This might be the most even match heat we've seen so far in GPA. Bernard, your defending high point champion in lane 1, Inlup in lane 2, and Awesome Austin on the outside. And Brad, I understand the problem yesterday for the 12 craft was a blower belt. Easy fix. Nice it didn't hurt the engine, so we'll see how Ekert does here in his second heat of competition in Grand Prix America. 1 minute, 25 seconds until the start.
Yeah, here comes, you talk about Austin Ekert. We said it was his first heat yesterday. He didn't even finish a lap before that belt problem occurred and he had to shut down. You're right, good point, no engine problem. He was out front, however. The kid knows how to drive, but he may have his hands full here. And like I've said a few times, I wish I had $1 for every time I'd watch Jeff Bernard and Austin Ekert go at it.
I'd be able to retire early. 55 seconds away. Jeff Bernard will be in lane number 1, the dominant orange boat with the checkered flag effect. Ken Lupton's boat, red-black, beautiful boat. Craft name Lucas Oil. Dominant yellow, Wilkes Tire and Battery Service with Austin Ekert. Brad, by your watch, we're 35 seconds away. I think everybody's in ideal position for the start.
Yeah, I think they are. I like Ekert coming out of the lower corner down there. Lupton went by him and kind of gave it a squirt and ran up alongside Bernard, and Ekert stayed true to his own timing marks and just came slow off the corner. He slowly worked up to him. Now he's out front. Inside 20 seconds, coming up on 15 seconds about right now. Jeff, bring him to the line. It is Heat 2C of the Grand Prix America Hydroplanes, presented by Guntersville Chevrolet.
Coming up on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, we're racing. And boy, if Bernard nailed that start, it was picture perfect in 0. Jeff Bernard leads the field in turn number 1. Bad Influence, but he's got company on the outside. Ken Lupton, Lucas Oil. Brad, there's Bernard, but Lupton's hitting.
Yeah, Lupton is right there with him. You are deck to deck down the backstretch. You could just see his cowling, Jeff, from where we're sitting. Hit that of Ken Lupton on the outside. Bernard really wants to beat him. Oh, and look at Lupton flying on the outside with a lot of boat speed. Doesn't get much better than this, Jeff.
Beautiful dueling. Start is under review. They are side by side. After lap number 1, here comes Lupton on the outside. Bernard to the inside. Bad Influence. Lucas Oil. Bernard will regain some momentum. Oh, and we got a problem with the boat dead in the water, but it is right side up. Off the turn, Brad. Now Lupton pulls out in front.
He's got about 2, maybe 3 boat lengths on Jeff Bernard up the backstretch. You know Jeff as well as I do. He is not going to calm down. He's going to stay after him into the corner. He does have that inside lane, but Lupton's going to hold him in tight. Actually, he didn't. Gave him a lot of room. Running him clean, Jeff.
Boy, beautiful turn by Bernard as Lupton swung outside. And it's not going to matter. We're at the halfway mark of Guntersville Chevrolet Heat 2C. Jeff Bernard on the inside. The Orange Craft has jumped the gun. Bernard will be issued a 1-minute penalty. So now Ken Lupton, I'm sure the radio contact will get to him, but boy, you wouldn't know. Now Bernard, you can see starting to pull.
Yeah,
Bernard's pulling, taking it easy to get those second place points. And now Ken Lupton should stroll to an easy win in the Lucas Oil. But Brad, before we got the answer on the gun jump, exciting.
It was very exciting. It's good boat racing. I think if we talk to Jeff Bernard about the gun jump, he's going to say, look, I know I was inside of him, but he's got so much boat speed, I had to be on time. He timed it a little bit too close. It's not going to come back to bite him, assuming both of them finish the heat. He'll still pick up, as you said, the second place points. He'll be okay, but the Bad Influence 79 is running really strong, and those Kiwis, they're quick.
Oh, they are quick, and Jack Lupton quick, Ken Lupton quick. Checkered flag waving. Here is your winner of Guntersville Chevrolet Grand Prix America Heat 2C, Ken Lupton, Lucas Oil. Jeff Bernard will cross in second in the Bad Influence. Jeff will get an extra 1-minute penalty on the lapse time. GPA and Pro-Lite do not run a extra lap like H1 Unlimited. When you get a lap penalty, they go with the elapsed time penalty of 1 minute. Brad Luce, our morning card is wrapping up.
It is wrapping up. It seems like it just started, but we've been running so darn fast, and it has been good, very good. The racing on the water, I think, has been terrific. Whether or not Jeff jumped the start or not, until such time as you said that we got that notification, Jeff was hanging right with Ken. They were really going at it. This final heat in this GP America class is going to be something special.
Possibility of a 8-boat GPA final. Stay close to me. I want to hear you too, as in Brad, with an 8-boat GPA final.
Yeah, well,
talk about some noise.
Talk about some noise. Talk about some fun. And you've heard the driver say, when I've been giving them the hardware, they're all talking about the amount of speed that is here and sitting over there in that GP pit area. We're getting the same thing out of the unlimited side. And coming up at the end of the day, let's not short sheet the Pro-Lites. There's a lot of boats down there that are going to be very, very competitive. And the last 3 heats of the day, whoo, don't miss them.
That's the big hardware. And, of course, the biggest of all is the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world, the APBA Gold Cup, coming up at 5 o'clock Central Time this afternoon. With that, we'll take a break with our viewers watching online at H1 Unlimited via YouTube. We will go into a break, and we are scheduled to come back on the water at 1 o'clock with Grand Prix Heat 3A. Attention along the shoreline. Katie Norton, please report to the award stage. Katie Norton, please report to the award stage. Thank you, Katie.
Oh, I see her. We have a Norton sighting right there in front of the trailer. How she got in the middle.
For our race fans that are listening and watching online, this will conclude our morning session on the H1 Unlimited YouTube channel. We will be back after about a 1-hour break. There's lots more to do on Lake Guntersville. Be sure and tune back in. It's the H1 Unlimited YouTube channel, the oldest active motorsports trophy in the world. We're going to give it away. I'm looking at it, and boy, does it look pretty. We'll see y'all later.